In 2023, we took a Viking Mediterranean Italian Sojourn cruise. It started in Barcelona, Spain to Sète and Marseille, France, Monaco, then we hit Florence, Pisa, Rome, Naples, Pompeii, Messina, Sicily, Crotone and Bari, Italy, Šibenik, Croatia, ending in Venice, Italy. In June 2019, a giant 13-deck cruise ship crashed into a wharf in Venice, injuring 5 people. This prompted the city mayor at the time to ban big ships from passing through the center of Venice. So because of this, we didn't get to dock directly in Venice, but in Chioggia, if I'm saying that correctly. It's one of the 118 islands that make up Venice. We got the usual pilot boat reception to make sure we didn't get caught on some very narrow channels that protected this area from invaders, which was the reason that people came here in the first place. In 568 AD, this group of mainlanders were escaping that constant raiding and warfare that was going on after the fall of the Roman Empire, and the Dark Ages were on their way in. They figured coming here to a bunch of smaller islands with shallow waters and a lot of swamps was better than dealing with all that chaos. And for us, we're kind of glad they did. But you have to appreciate how difficult this must have been. These mainlanders didn't name this area, though. The name was derived from the ancient Veneti people who inhabited this region by the 10th century BC. We then took a 45-minute shuttle boat from the dock into Venice. This wasn't as bad a ride as I thought it would have been. The waters were pretty calm, and we got to see some of the other islands that make up Venice. You pass a lot of very picturesque islands, some with seafood factories on them, very colorful, and you wonder what it was like for these people before motorized boats and fishing vessels and electricity. What did they do beside work, eat, and sleep? Although being Italians, they probably sang a lot. You also see markers on both sides of the boat where the water is so shallow you could walk around in it. The city of Venice is the capital and the administrative center of the Veneto region in northeastern Italy. It consists of around 118 to 120 small islands linked by 400 bridges. Venice itself is located in a shallow lagoon between the Po and the Piave rivers. This separation from the chaos of the mainland allowed the people of the watery area to become master seamen and build a powerful enough fleet to rule most of the Adriatic area, economically subjugating even Constantinople, now Istanbul. Start crusades, get popes to owe them favors, and eventually take over some of the communities from the very mainland areas that they fled from. Also, the city's location on the water allowed for efficient waste disposal. Venice's early residents built a sophisticated system of canals and sewerage pipes that carried waste out of the city and into the lagoon, helping to prevent the spread of disease and improve public health. That sounds a bit gross to us today, but it was an engineering marvel in those early times. Early in Venice's history, one of the Doges understood that relics of important saints would bring streams of pilgrims and in turn bring money. And that is why that Doge decided to change the patron saint from Saint Theodore to Saint Mark, which it is today. Maybe he just couldn't find the remains of Saint Theodore, who knows. So in the year 828, a group of men stole the remains of the body of Saint Mark from Alexandria. Supposedly, they were able to get away with the theft by hiding the remains in a wagon under a load of pork. The Muslim guard, because at the time Alexandria was being ruled over by the Muslims, inspected the box, saw that there was pork in there, and totally stepped away from it because they didn't want to have anything to do with pork. So the guard let them pass without inspection. And as a further story, as they were sailing back to Venice, a huge storm took hold of the boat. So according to legend, the boat was about to sink when a vision of St. Mark appeared to them and told the captain to lower the sails. As a result, they avoided capsizing, made it safely back to Venice. Nothing like a miracle on the brochure when you're stealing something. By the mid-14th century, Venice was among the most populated cities in Europe, with more than 100,000 people. However, the Black Death sweeping across Europe reached Venice in 1348 and killed half the city. But immigrants from the mainland quickly restored the population. On the 16th of May, 1797, the city was captured by French forces, who placed it under Austrian control. Then in 1849, Venice revolted against the Austrians, but 4 months of resistance was ended by a cholera outbreak and starvation. In 1866, the Kingdom of Italy annexed Venice.